The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Happening now at 9 o'clock, covering the entire DMV.
This is our message that the folks have got to stop the violence.
Call the ceasefire. Thousands take to the district looking for peace in the Middle East amid the Israel-Hamas war. And shots fired. Officers targeted. 2 teens hit with bullets. And 1 delivery driver carjacked all overnight in the nation's capital. And fall back. The extra hour of sleep ahead. How the earlier evenings will impact your day-to-day.
And that extra hour of sleep means a little less time of sunlight and daylight. Well, will that be seen on your Sunday? Will we have a lot of sunshine? Stick around for that answer coming up.
Thank you, Scott. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Ben Dennis. We have a live look at 4 quadrants of our viewing area tonight. Annapolis, Maryland, Winchester, Virginia, Hagerstown, and Washington, D.C. Your time is 9:01. New details in the district. Police are investigating an officer-involved shooting in Southeast. Police say they responded to a report of shots fired near 13th Place around 9:30 last night. You can see the crime tape here, the blue and red lights illuminating the scene. They say that a suspect fired several shots at authorities. 3 officers shot back. No injuries reported. The suspect still on the run. Meantime, police say that the officers who returned fire have been placed on leave. That's protocol. The body-worn video is currently under review. Authorities also investigated double shooting of teenage boys. One of them killed last night in Northwest. It happened around 11 at the intersection of 14th Street and Fairmont. That's when officers arrived. They found the 2 teenage boys. They were shot. One was conscious and breathing. The other did die on scene. We'll provide you with more updates as we learn more from authorities. And D.C. police are investigating an armed carjacking in Northeast that left 1 food delivery driver shot. Officials say the victim was completing deliveries near 14th Northeast last night around 11:30. That's when a suspect flashed a gun, demanded the keys to the victim's car. The victim did give them up, but when he told the suspect he was going to call police, the suspect shot him. Police are still looking for the suspect and the victim's car. It's a silver Hyundai Elantra. And today, tens of thousands from across the country flocked to the district, rallying on the National Mall, Pennsylvania Avenue, and outside the White House as violence continues to unfold in the Middle East. It is the largest such demonstration in our area since October 7th, when Hamas militants attacked southern Israel, killing 1,400 people. Since then, Israeli airstrikes targeting the Gaza Strip have killed more than 9,000 people. Our Haley Mylon joins us live in the studio with us. She just got back from outside the White House where those protesters had gathered. Haley, tell us about what those demonstrators are hoping to convey.
Yeah, Ben, the main objective for demonstrators is a ceasefire, showing up at the White House pressuring President Joe Biden to end U.S. aid to Israel. Now, for many, this is personal. 3 weeks ago, I introduced you to Joe Rosenberger, whose family was trapped in Gaza. Today, I happened to bump into Joe, who had just received incredible news, picking up his mother for the protest at the airport, that his sister had made it out of the war-torn region safely.
I picked her up at Reagan in the middle of the day, and within 5 minutes before we pull up to her sister's, my aunt's, we get the good news, so we were able to bust through the door and say, she's up, into Egypt.
Words Rosenberger longed to say for weeks as his sister Emily, brother-in-law Muhammad, and their 5 children dodged danger moving through Gaza. They'd been visiting family there when the violence broke out, traveling to the Egypt crossing 4 times, trying unsuccessfully to leave.
And not getting out was real demoralizing.
Emily, a U.S. citizen, finally getting out with the help of the State Department. They leave behind family in the enclave still exposed to Israeli bombardments.
They definitely have cousins there that are still heavy in their heart.
The Hamas attack in southern Israel left 1,400 people dead. The retaliatory airstrikes killing 9,200 Gazans. Today, Joe and his family members among the tens of thousands pressuring leaders for a ceasefire.
Folks have got to stop the violence.
Palestinians and supporters saying the conflict is amounting to a genocide.
And this is not about religion.
Meantime, Israel's defense forces say they're trying to eradicate Hamas, claiming their leaders hide themselves where the citizens live. This demonstrator saying U.S. aid to Israel hurts Americans with ties to Palestine.
What does that mean for us? What does that mean for people of color? What does that mean for our families in our homeland, ancestral home?
Many hoping they can one day feel the relief the Rosenbergers are feeling.
I'm going to hug them for 20 minutes straight.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says there won't be a ceasefire until Hamas releases Israeli hostages from Gaza. Ben?
Our Haley Milan reporting live in studio. Thank you, Haley. We're continuing to track the war in Israel. The Palestinian death toll in that war has reached 9,448, according to the Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza. This says Israeli defense forces continued their ground offensive in northern Gaza. Meantime, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is making a new push for peace in the region, asking Middle Eastern leaders to protect civilians impacted by this war. However, he says a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas would be counterproductive, saying the move would only benefit the terrorist organization. And we're reminding everybody, of course, that tomorrow, daylight saving ends at 2 a.m. You might be fast asleep, but that change will be there. That being said, set back your clocks. If you have an analog clock, everyone's got a digital clock these days, right? Enjoy the extra hour of rest before getting up. Scott Sumner joining us live with that forecast of what you need before you go. Hey there, Scott, tell us more.
All right, absolutely, Ben. Yeah, we're looking at a little less sunlight tomorrow. Sun sets at 5:03 and even shorter amount of time, a length of daylight during November 30th. It ends at 4:46 when the sun sets. So, yeah, we are getting a little shorter past Thanksgiving here. Just give you a little background here, daylight saving time. What we know, well, it started back in World War I. It was first started in 1916 by Germany. U.S. also got into the act by using it in 1918. The current system right now, which runs daylight saving time from changes March ahead and November back, well, that started in 2007. The move is hopeful to be made permanent by some in Congress as a bill works its way through there, and we'll see if that does come to fruition. Does it actually work, though? Well, if you ask different people, you're going to get many different answers on that. But I can tell you right now, some of us do like that extra hour of sleep. We'll talk more about tomorrow's forecast. That's all coming up in just a little bit.
Thank you, Scott. Meantime, the search is on for a D.C. woman who vanished October the 23rd. 25-year-old China Crawford was last seen on Good Hope Road in Southeast near 16th Street. Family members say that they're growing desperate and frustrated.
Any small detail that you think is non-sequential, just please still share that information. My daughter, China, I believe was taken or kidnapped. I believe that she's still out there somewhere, and I'm asking everybody to please help us find China.
Police are also looking for China's gray Mercedes with a temporary Virginia tag. It says 998859V. And in Virginia, the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office is trying to combat a recent trend in opioid overdoses at one of the county's high schools, impacting our young residents. That Sheriff's Office held a presentation just today at Parkview High School to teach members of the community about the dangers of fentanyl after 9 Parkview students overdosed in the past 2 weeks. Some of the topics that were discussed at that meeting include information on what fentanyl is and the trend in the usage. Officials also laid out resources available in Loudoun County. They highlighted the importance of opioid overdose reversal training, including how to administer Narcan. Other organizations also provided help, including treatment and support programs in addition. And in the district, council members are taking steps to improve how kids are taken care of. They introduced 3 bills. One of them looks to help support grandparents raising children. DC News Now's Tosin Fakile explains how those bills would impact child welfare in DC.
Some council members say the 3 bills are about a holistic approach to taking care of children in the district. And with one of those bills looking to support grandparents, DC leaders are hoping it can make a difference, as AARP DC reports more than 7,000 children under the age of 18 live in grandparent-led households. DC's Family and Facility Services Committee had a hearing for the bills on Thursday. The first bill repeals the religious exception to DC's definition of child neglect. That bill tackles the law that says any child, quote, under treatment solely by spiritual means through prayer cannot, under district law, be found to be neglected. And that law would not allow DC take legal custody of a sick or dying child to make sure they survive. And that's why council members are pushing to repeal that religious exception. The second bill makes changes to the income requirement for a program that will allow grandparents or close relative of a child be eligible to get subsidy payments for the care and custody of that child. It changes requirements to income to be under 300% instead of 200%. The third bill will extend the time frame for completing abuse and neglect investigations from 30 to 45 days. On that third bill, it also says the time frame will be up to 60 days in cases with allegations involving things like child fatality, sex trafficking, or care in a foster home, group home, or licensed daycare facilities. Now, most of these bills have more than one council member introducing and supporting it. In the studio, I'm Tosin Fakile. Back to you.
Our thanks to Tosin, indeed. Meantime, the end of daylight saving time will increase your chances of seeing a deer while you're on the road. Experts say that the time change puts more vehicles on the pavement during the dusk and dawn hours when deer are moving the most. Deer also become more active in autumn with the lead up to their fall breeding season. One expert warns what you should look out for.
Deer often do travel in groups, and they often do cross roads single file. So even if a deer crosses the road in front of you, it doesn't mean that the threat is over. There could be another one following.
Experts are also urging drivers to slow down, stay alert, especially during those evening hours.